we're going to go over how to edit your current listing that's already in Paperless pipeline. You're now under contract, and so we need to go in and edit some details and upload the contract and the supporting docs. So let's go ahead and log in. Once you do that, it takes you to the home screen. So we're going to go right up here to transactions, click on transactions. It pulls up your current transactions that you've already listed. So now we're going to go ahead and click on the one that we need to make some changes to. And then we're going to go right on over here into this edit transaction. Once we've clicked on that, we're going to just start from the top and work our way down. So on status, we're no longer just listed. We are pending, and this is a residential sale. Under the acceptance date, go ahead and put the date that the contract has been executed and everything has been accepted. And then on the close date, this is highly important because this communicates to the compliance team just the timeline. So we need to know like when we need to have the final review, all the docs, the CDA off to title, all of those good things. So we definitely love it when you guys get paid at closing. And so this close date definitely helps keep us on track and lets us communicate back and forth with you on what might still be needed. And then that way we can get that CDA off to title. Here, again, is just where you can enter any little details, anything that might have come up or anything that you want to remember going down the road about this particular transaction. You can enter that information here. But then we'll jump right down here. Now we have a buyer, so we're going to go ahead and put in our buyer's name. We have a list price, and we happen to actually go under contract for what we listed it as. And right here, if there's been any kind of a change, any kind of a negotiation, if you're giving any kind of a concession, then this is where you will need to make sure that information is communicated. Sometimes the agents like to go ahead and put in what the actual commission amount is. And it's just something where we can, re-verify and just double check. All of this, I will say that all of this information right here needs to be completed before we are able to create the CDA. And so it's just a really great standard rule and a way of practice that once you've gone under contract, go ahead and get that contract and the supporting documents uploaded into the transaction. Go ahead and edit the details, adding this information. And then, obviously, as things go, if you have to, you can get back in here and make more adjustments. If the appraisal comes in low and we need to, once again, adjust the sales price, we can do that and stuff. So it's just, as you go, it's so much easier to keep up with. So much easier on the compliance team to be able to review as we go versus having to review and complete file days before closing and then making sure that we have everything that we need. So let's see, we've already updated our transaction information. So let's go ahead and upload some of our buyer docs, some of our sale docs, like our contract and any other supporting documents that we may have. So again, you can either click on upload docs from the left-hand side or in that blue bar menu. Both take you to the same place. We're going to go ahead and add just our contract and the third party that we have signed and anything else. So let's just, for training purposes, we'll just add these two. And then again, you can just go in and rename them if you want. And then these, because they are signed between the seller and the buyer, these go under sale. So we're going to click on upload. Then we're going to go right back on over here to our checklists, because again, this is a perfect way for the agent to communicate to compliance and for compliance to communicate right back to the agent. So now we are going to go right down here to where it says listing under contract, and it's residential sale. So it's going to pull up the documents that may or may not pertain, but just things that will jog your memory, that will help you as the transaction goes on, that will help compliance as the transaction goes on. And that way we can just rock and roll right on down to closing day, and we can make sure that that CDA is in the hands of title days before closing. And I just want to go over real quick. So this is when you have a listing or when you have any transaction here in the system actually, and as things are being reviewed, and I just want to show you guys real quick that once compliance has had a chance to check off documents that have already been uploaded. So earlier we had a listing agreement and the IABS, then those will show down here as already marked off. We're good to go. Obviously, when it's your transaction and you're way further along, you have a lot more of this will have disappeared and stuff. But I just kind of want to show you that once compliance has checked something off and we're good to go, then that is the way it will look. Again, once you're up here, and if you know, like, hey, the lead-based paint does not apply to this transaction, then you just hit Shift, click, pulls up this little box. You hit Not Applicable. We have just uploaded our executed contract, so we're just gonna click in this little box there, and then we also have our third party. So we're letting our compliance team know that, hey, I've uploaded these, they should be there, and they are ready for review. So that's just kind of a quick overview on how to add docs to a transaction, a listing transaction that is already in Paperless Pipeline, and then how to edit the transaction details. And we will just continue to give you bite-sized pieces of everything that Paperless Pipeline has to offer. So stay tuned.